And again, so welcome to our webinar, the fourth of our installation, which is called Lawyers Edge Mastering Digital Marketing for Legal Professionals. It's my honor and privilege to introduce you to our speaker, our presenter who has expertise working with many law firms as well as many other customers to help the promotion of brands and really securing and soliciting more clients and customers. Alex Baquilod will do his own introduction, and of course, to help with this virtual webinar to keep engagement live, you're always encouraged to keep your videos on so that we can, react and share our wonderful facial expressions during the webinar. And as he is delivering a presentation, you're more than welcome and encouraged to drop any questions in the chat. I'll leave it to Alex to refer to those questions as you see fit, either at the end or throughout the presentation. So anyways, again, welcome to the webinar. And without further ado, I'll pass the mic to Alex. Go ahead, Alex.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you guys for having me. My name is Alex Baquilod. I probably met some of you guys during the conference back in June in DC. If you guys attended it, I was mingling and talking to a lot of people at the conference and also in the happy hour downstairs. So probably met you guys, some of you guys in person. So happy to see you guys again virtually. So I'll be sharing my screen. This webinar, as Jill said, is about digital marketing for lawyers specifically. So I'm going to be focusing on how digital marketing can benefit lawyers, law firms, and what are the tactics and the strategy that you guys can use in order to optimize your digital presence and to get more clients, build client base, and whatever other business objectives and goals you guys are trying to achieve. So I'll be sharing my screen. All right, can you guys see the screen, the presentation? Yeah, sounds good. All right. So, like I said earlier, my name is Alex. I'm the managing partner for GoodConversion Marketing. I've been in the digital marketing sphere for the past more than 5 years. Before that, I used to work for a digital marketing agency specifically for politicians. And a lot of our clients who are politicians were lawyers before. And we've raised a lot of money when it comes to fundraising in order to fundraise their election, basically. A lot of my marketing experience do come from the government, but it's similar whether you're in the government or in the private sector. Before working for Targeted Victory, I also used to work for the U.S. Army. I was one of their social media expert. As a civilian, I was able to manage millions of followers, engage with with comments, create strategy, and really just optimize our digital presence so that we can reach more people. And back when I was what we call green suitor, right, soldiers, I was a paralegal, so I do know the legal field. I'm not just a marketer, not just a businessman. I'm also have experience in the legal field as a paralegal. And back when I was a lot younger, I thought about becoming a lawyer. I read the Kaplan LSAT prep book for like 30 pages, and I was like, yeah, this is not for me. I gotta find something else. So, and then, I landed in marketing and I really loved it. And using that experience and with my experience in the Army as a paralegal to try and help lawyers and Filipino lawyers all over, the US and elsewhere. So here's basically the agenda we're going to be covering. So, website is probably the most important thing for lawyers and businesses to have. We're going to talk about some of the tactics that lawyers and businesses need in order to capture a lot of their client base or get more reach and awareness for their brand. Social media is definitely one of them as well. I was talking to Jill earlier about, if you're not on social media, do you even exist, right? Nowadays, social media is basically one of our main source of information. And if you're not there, do you exist at all? So we're going to talk about social media and then email and SMS. I know that's an old, I won't say outdated, but like very old way of reaching customers and clients, but it's one of the most effective way as well. And it's also one of the most cost-effective digital marketing aspect that people overlook. And then SEO, search engine optimization. Having a website is great, but if people can't find your website, it basically doesn't exist as well. So SEO will allow websites to have certain things in that website in order for Google to put you on their page for people to find you. All right, so website. You gotta tell who you are. You gotta show people what you do, who you are, and what you can do for them. Most of them is basically positioning yourself, your unique selling proposition, USP. How are you able to differentiate yourself from other competitors, from other lawyers? There's a lot of lawyers out there. If you Google, DC lawyers, there's gonna be a bunch of them, or like personal injury lawyers, there's gonna be a bunch of them. How do you position yourself, right? So telling your story is one of the best ways to differentiate yourself from other competitors, and showing credibility. Showing your your awards or some of the stuff that you've had previously in order to give yourself credibility to your potential clients, and that gives authority over your website and gives you a capability to attract more clients. And at the end of it, websites, you want to bring value. You want to give your clients some value. It's not just a place where people can call you or can get your information, but like, what can you give them in return? Because there's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to have websites, but without any value that you can give to the users or to the people viewing your website, they're not going to be attracted to your website or to you. So here are the ways that you can basically optimize your website. Put your awards out there. If you went to Harvard Law, people look up on that degree. Put it there. Say you went to Harvard. If you won a legal award or whatever, put it in your website. Brings credibility to yourself and to your law firm. And case studies, like people want to see what you've done before. That's basically social proof. If you say things, what can you do to back it up? And case studies is the best way to present that. Also, client testimonials and reviews, like again, social proof, right? You can have the best looking website, you can have all the awards, you can have the case studies, but if no one's vouching for you, if no one's saying, "Hey, Alex did something great," well, that's not gonna help you as much as people are actually like vouching for you, telling other people, "Hey, hire Alex or hire Jill or Dennis to be your lawyer." So having that social proof is one of the biggest ways to get people on board. When we go on Amazon or watch a movie, we usually go and look at the reviews. People talk great about that thing. People tend to, like that thing and watch that movie or buy that product. So having reviews and client testimonials is one of the key ways to attract customers. Adding a live chatbot to your website, it allows people to have easier way to communicate to you. Immediacy, like I said, right? It's there when you log it. When you go on that website, it pops up. Hey, want to come talk to us? Because it's an easy way to converse without having someone there to physically talk to someone. It's just there to, to basically have someone to reach out, even though no one person is physically reaching out to that person. It's automated. Also, anyone can go on your website, whether it's at 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 p.m., go on your website, and then if there's a chat bot, that's reaching out to that customer. You don't have to be 24/7 looking at your website, waiting for a customer to show up. It's automated so that you can focus on the things that you want to focus on. And it's easier, for clients, instead of calling someone, instead of emailing someone, if there's a chatbot, they can just type in whatever question they have. And then, whether it's pre-filled questions that they can easily get the answer from, or if it's, an email like that you get and then you reply back. It's just an easy way for clients to contact you without having a lot of what do you call that? A lot of friction. Calling someone, you need to pick up your phone, type in the number, emailing, you have to copy the email address, go to your app, and then emailing. This way, it's much easier. It decreases the friction when it comes to reaching out to you, and that because of that, there's a lot more potential to get more leads. That leads, you can contact them. SEO. So, like I said earlier, without SEO, your website's not going to be on the first page of Google or even on Google. And like it says, 75% of people never go to the second page. So if you're not on the second page or third page, I mean, if you're not on the first page, if you're other than the first page, you're probably not being seen by your potential clients. So having SEO is one of the biggest ways to get yourself out there so that people can see you. 93% of online experiences begin with a search engine. You know, let's say me, if I need a lawyer, typically most of the time I go to Google. I don't go to TikTok. I don't go to Instagram to search for a lawyer. I go to Google because it's a search engine. So, and if you're not there, if you don't have your website optimized, definitely not getting seen by the people that are looking for you. So how do we rank on Google? Multiple things, but one of the biggest ways is to provide value to your users, blogs, articles, right? Any promotional educational videos. Google My Business GMB is basically it's your Google profile. I'll show that later on, but these are the best ways to rank on Google. So blogs and articles, keywords. That's one of the most important aspects of for algorithms for Google, because how can Google provide their users with such accurate information if they can find you or they can find specific keyword? Let's say if you're a lawyer in DC, what would someone search on Google? Best personal injury lawyer in DC, right? So have that keyword or key phrase on your website so that when Google is, reading your website, they can see, oh, this website actually has best BI lawyer in DC. So when someone is searching for that key phrase on Google, Google can see that, hey, this website has this keyword, this key phrase. We're gonna put it on this person's, first page and whatnot. And you want to have a long form blog post. I know I've seen people who have 400 words, 300 words, 500 words. Those are okay because, you have something. But what Google is looking for is something that they can provide for their customers. If you only have, if you have an article of about 3 minutes, you read that in 3 minutes, that's not valuable enough. So I know 2,000 words is a lot, but it's not really that much if you really combine some of the stuff that you do, just expand on it. I think we've all written more than 2,000 words, and that's not as hard as people think it is. Like I said, long form content is what Google is looking for. If you have that, you have your keywords set up, you're definitely going to rank on Google. And to make it easier for people to read, use bullet points. Instead of just one big paragraph or like few paragraphs, break it down into bullet points, make it easier for people to read it so that they're not just getting bored of your articles. They're actually paying attention. They're spending a lot of their time on your website instead of click, 2 seconds, they're gone. They're actually clicking on it, reading the articles, and then, hopefully you have a call to action so that they can go to certain things that you want them to do. Another aspect of SEO, you can also do videos. It doesn't have to be always articles and written blogs. It can be videos. Make sure to put captions on your video so that Google can also read the captions that you put in there. So let's say you have an article and then there's a video in that. Add captions because Google can read those captions. If you add keywords in that, video, that's also another way to another way for Google to read what you're providing to your customers or on your website. That could be a podcast or a media interview that you have with, some news station. And UGC, user generated content, is basically what it is on the bottom right. If you guys look at, that's those are TikTok videos, but that's user generated content because it's you're facing the camera. It's basically you and the camera. There's no one interviewing you. You're just talking to the camera. It's basically UGC, and a lot of that is being pushed by algorithms, not just on Google, but all over, social media, Bing, Yahoo. So that's one of the biggest um, how do I say one of the ways that algorithms push a lot of their content is via UGCs. Link building is also a key way to have authority over your domain, your URL. So this is more technical, but I can make it so simple that people can understand it. So basically, it's linking. It's link building. You write an article, and then let's say a sentence in your article links back to another page on either on your website or on a different website, let's say on a BBC website. That's link building. And Google sees that as like someone's vouching for you, right? Like it's social proof, like a review. Someone saying, hey, this website or this page is have really great value. We're gonna link it to that page. So basically, if BBC wrote like an article about lawyers in DC and they found your content really good, they're gonna link that article on your website from their website. And then when Google sees that BBC is a really high ranking website, has really high authority domain, they're going to give you more points, give telling, the algorithm that, hey, BBC is a trustworthy website, and then it's linking to your website. That means your website is also trustworthy. So that's another way for websites for Google to see that you're a really trustworthy website, and they're going to put you on their uh, first page on their website on Google. So these are other ways to get inbound links, guest posting, like I said earlier, another website posting, um, linking a different, how do I say this? Different page on the website, on their website link building, legal association directories, that's Yelp, that's Justia, that's lawyer.com, a lot of these directories. Um, Resources, whether you know someone who's, let's say you're a realtor lawyer or in real estate, you can have your friend realtor link back one of their links to your website. So that's basically resource websites, having other businesses in your, not in the same field, but partner industries linked to your page also increases your domain authority. And then natural link acquisition is basically just organic way of, link building. You don't have to reach out to people. They see your content, they like it. They're gonna link they're gonna create an article and they'll link back to your website. All right, GMB. So local SEO. Lawyers are, you know, they they're all over the place, but mostly they're local. So when people look for lawyers, they're typically in their respective area. Um, This is basically how Google see you as a as an entity. Who are you? Where do you, what kind of information you have? So if you have that profile, they can distinguish you from other websites, or from other competitors, or from other lawyers. So just to make sure, on your Google profile, make sure to have your official business website in there, your information, whether that's email, your phone number, or your hours, also where you are located. If you have multiple locations, let's say you're a law firm, you have location in DC, in LA, in New York, make sure to have three different um, GMB profile. You don't want to just think people, you don't want people to think you're only in one location when you're actually in different locations. So have different profiles for each locations, and add pictures, photographs, gather reviews, because that's one way to tell Google that you're a trustworthy business. If you have a lot of reviews, right, that really makes sure that's one of the ways that Google see that you're a really good business that they're going to put on their website. So SEO for GMB, uh, yeah, just optimize it in a really good way. It's like a profile on whether it's Facebook or Instagram, it's the same thing, but for this, you have a lot more information about who you are. Uh, as you see, includes your name, the reviews you have, headshots, appointment link, you have that. If you have any facts, frequently asked questions, you can put on your GMB, so that when people look at your GMB profile, they can read some of the content that people are looking at. And you can also publish posts. These are the posts could be anything, share company news, events, if you're highlighting any kind of offering, and just to keep your audience updated in what you're doing. So now we can talk about social media. So as everyone knows, a lot of people are on social media. They get a lot of information from social media, and that's why if you're not on social media, even if it's not getting a lot of engagement, not a lot of likes or comments, as long as you're on social media, you get views, you get eyes on your content, eyes on your law firm. That's good enough. There basically a lot of people are on social media, as you see billions and billions of people. Um, Facebook. So Facebook is a very local social media platform. People don't really think about that, but it is, because it's kind of like Google My Business, kind of like the Google profile, because you can actually see a lot of information that you usually have on your Google profile. Your name, your website, your phone number, your email address, and also sometimes reviews. So optimizing the way that people can have a lot of information about you is one of the best ways to optimize it. You can share so many things. You can share relevant local and national news, give your opinion, your opine on it, um, feedbacks, testimonies from clients, and if you want, you can share anything that's humorous, memes or something that would make people laugh. And also communicate directly to your customers. Make it a two-way conversation, not just you posting. If they ask questions, make sure to respond, so that they can see that it's actually being looked at, not just being posted on. People actually communicate, converse on your platform. And Reels, Facebook Reels is definitely something that Facebook is pushing a lot. So if you have that, that's definitely one of the biggest ways to get more attention, more eyes on your content, more eyes on your business, your law firm. YouTube, it's it's for longer form content. If you have reels, 30 seconds, a minute, but if you want to explain something like really thoroughly, going deep dive into a specific question or specific thing, you can use YouTube, that's half an hour content, really deep dive into some of the complex legalities that people may have questions about. No, what does probate mean? If you can definitely put in 1 minute video, but it's if you make it like a lot longer form video, you can get into deeper meaning, understanding of it, and tell your audience. And again, testimonials. What you want to have it on a lot of your platforms. You want to hit them from different angles. Your customers that people actually vouching for you. They like you. They're giving good reviews about you. Like and need to know advice. Same thing as explainer videos. Um, yeah, a lot of them is basically longer form of reels. Telling not just not just certain demographics who just watch reels, but if some people prefer longer form content. Actually, that's the trend that's going on right now. A lot of people prefer longer content. That's the trajectory. So we might be going to a longer form content in the future, podcast or any long form content, maybe something that your client also prefers. So having a mixture of short form content and long form content gives you a breadth of different ways to interact with your customers. Instagram, very similar to other platform, lifestyle related posts, basically just showing who you are, make it engaging, um, showing some of the behind the scenes, like what you do on your law firms or like your business. Also a way for interact with audience, with the users, if you're looking for an intern or new lawyers in your law firm, posting yourself on Instagram. A lot of people are still on Instagram, so they're definitely gonna be able to see it if they like your page, and that's how you communicate. Another way is to have a DM sales automation DM setup. If what they want to reach out to you, they can DM you, and then there's an automated system, just like a chat bot, where when people DM you, they get like some kind of automated response so that you can talk to them, so that your website or your Instagram page can talk to them without you having to really interact with them in the first place, at least in the beginning part of the process. TikTok, definitely a lot different from other ones, but also the same when it comes to like reels, short form content, a minute and a half, I think. I think you can go longer now, but it's tailored for quick 30-second, a minute content. Same as reels, you share your everyday tips about, the legal field, answer any questions, any, national ruling out there so that people can understand what's going on. Not everyone's a lawyer, so they would reach out to a lawyer like or read and listen to what lawyers would say. As you see, like bottom left or like in the middle, says worst legal advice, right? Not everyone's able to provide good legal advice, but if you one that's good, and they're gonna, take you into account and really respect you and maybe become one of your customers. LinkedIn is a little bit different. It's more professional. As you see here, it's more like thought leadership authority. It's kind of like a mixture of like your website's articles and basically Instagram. It's a lot of information there you can put from your website to LinkedIn, from LinkedIn to your website when it comes to like blogs and articles. You can also share some downloadable checklists or guides or some of the infographics that you see on social media so that people can easily understand what you're communicating to them without having to use legal jargon. Pictures and checklists is something that a lot of people understand and they don't have to be lawyers. Email SMS is very it's a good email. Having a good email list or SMS list gives you the ability to not be dependent on social media platforms or search engines because it's yours. If you have an email list, you don't really need, if Google goes down, if Facebook goes down, Instagram, TikTok goes down, if you have your email list, you can still reach out to your customers, to your clients. So you're not dependent on one, or you're not dependent on a third party organization to communicate to your clients. Email and SMS will be able to do that for you. So, excuse me. So when it comes to email, right, having a welcome series, introducing yourself, your business to the clients, shows them that you're actually a legit organization, law firm. Nurturing them through your blogs, newsletters, one of them as well, or like inviting them to events that you might have. Some of evergreens, some of typical email templates that you use, whether it's for law firms and whatnot. You can push them out, and you can also retarget them. When it comes to, if someone opens the email, you can send them something. If they don't open an email for a long period of time, you can send them a different email so that they re-engage with your brand. So here's basically a drip campaign, right? So if you send someone a welcome letter, either they open it, they don't open it, and you go to the next step, and then it goes to the next steps. It's like an if and then statement. As you can see, there's so many different ways to engage with your customers based on their behavior. It's like a journey that you do with yourself or with anything, right? If you can do X, you do this. You do Y, you do different things. So it just depends on the behavior of your audience. They open it, send them something. If they don't open it for a long period of time, maybe you can send them a different content. So just really having this type of platform really enables you to have a tailored content specifically for specific people. Bonus. So this is more for, like, if you have an organization, you're trying to attract volunteers for whatever organization that you have, you can use social media to communicate with your audience, tell them how it can benefit them and what you're doing so that they can be attracted to what you're doing. Video content of what you're doing. If you're a organization about X, tell them about that X, that thing. If you post regularly, you definitely be seen consistently. A lot more people can see you, and when people see you a lot, they become. When people see you a lot, they get reminded of you all the time. Then they stick. You get stick in their head, so they remember you, and you can use it as a two-way conversation, interact with them. So that's just really the tip of the iceberg. Digital marketing is a whole industry. Like we talk about SEO, website, social media, but you can dig deeper and go to like the strategy of social media, pay-per-click, it's a whole different thing. CRO, paid ads, completely different. Automation, I know we talked about the drip campaign that could be automated, but there's other ways that you can use, automation for Chat GPT. I don't know, if you guys heard about it. It's been one of the most popular AI tools for not just for businesses, but for anything really. So we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg here. There's so much more when it comes to digital marketing. And, in the future, it might be even more. So we don't know. So, and that's all I have. Just keep in touch. There's my information, my QR code. If you guys want to reach out to me if you have any questions after this webinar, feel free to reach out and I can definitely answer any of the questions you guys have.
Yeah, thanks so much, Alex. That was great. We'd love to open the floor now to some questions that you may have. I know that was a lot of information, but is there anything from this group that you want to ask Alex? Please feel free to unmute yourself or drop the question in the chat.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I have a question about TikTok.
Okay.
So I was wondering if you have any perhaps good examples of TikTok lawyers, and then without criticizing, who would be bad examples?
Yeah, so definitely. So I can actually pull it up right now. I can name because I follow a lot of them as well. I get a lot of the questions that I have when it comes to um like anything law related from them. Like the RICO charge with the president right now, the former president. I don't know what a RICO charge is. I was watching one of their videos and then I saw, what it is and gave me information about it. I'm like, oh, this is really great. So one of them is Kennedy Law Firm. Let me look up his account. Kennedy Law Firm. Actually, let me just go back to TikTok. So these three, the one at the bottom three, are really good ones. So Kennedy Law Firm's the bottom right. That's TikTok. This all of his TikTok, and then I think the one on the left is it's a couple lawyers. They're a couple, and they get on TikTok and they discuss a lot of legal jargon. Says so the name is the.law.says.what. I mean that's a long name, but that's the bottom left one, and then the one on the right is Kennedy Law Firm. So those are the two good ones that I follow a lot, and there's a lot of them. When it comes to bad legal advice, um, I'm not really sure because maybe they're bad in one aspect but good in the other. Maybe it could be something that's the way they put their or like they capture the content is bad. So I'm not sure who I could consider as a bad example, but it's you're a lawyer, so you would know which one's a bad advice or not. So I definitely have you check those out. So
Hey Alex, for those three that you said are good accounts, can you just like elaborate a little, like what makes them good?
okay, so what makes them good? A lot of it is just depends on what people are looking at, right? So for me, when I look at content, it's more of how they engage with their audience. Are they like happy? Are they energetic? Or are they just like bland, just telling a story like monotone, right? You know, a lot of these, well, these two at least, or all of them on the what do you call this? On the slide, they're all good ones, and just giving how do I giving information that's easy for people without a legal background to understand because legal jargon can be so confusing that people can't understand what you're saying, but if you put it in layman's terms that people can understand, that's something that's good for the audience to to get informed about. So I think that's, I would say, a good way, one of the I'd say better ways to communicate. Basically, just communication, how they present themselves, having a pink tie, that's I think that's funny. So yeah, does that answer your question? Like it really does depend on the audience and on the person and on the individual. So I like the ones that I personally like, and that could be different from other people. Just depends on your target audience.
Anyone else have a question? I'll ask one because I've been kind of
Okay,
curious.
go ahead.
So Justin, given like that, all these platforms take a lot of time, and so I'm just wondering, like, if you, how do you decide which of the multiple social media platforms out there to prioritize? Like, what's your recommendation? It like, for instance, a nonprofit board that I'm another one that's on, we're not on TikTok or we're not as active, but are we, is that affecting our ability to reach our populations by primarily focusing on like LinkedIn, Instagram, etc.? So what are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. So it really does depend on your audience, your target audience or clients. If your clients are a lot of like older individuals, then Facebook would be your main platform. If it's just younger demographics, TikTok may be a great place for you. And if it's more professional, LinkedIn would be, the best place for you. So allocating resource depending on your target audience gives you the information to decide which one, which platform you're going to be on, the TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatnot, YouTube. So just depends on your target audience. Analyzing your clients, who they are mostly, and then finding where they are, where they're located, or which platform they use a lot. We'll give you that information on where you should be focusing on your time when it comes to managing a social media platform.
Alex, what do you define as older for Facebook? Just kidding. I'm just joking.
Yeah, I got.
But I felt that.
I'm
I
on
felt that
Facebook, right?
deeply.
So I'm on Facebook as well. I like Facebook a lot. The Reels really targets me. So, and I'm like 28, about to be 29. So I would say boomers and like Gen X, right? I'm millennial, but like younger millennial. I'm like closer like Gen Z, but I still use Facebook. So, and some of my friends still do. So I would say people in the like, I don't want to put numbers,
Alex,
but
I'm kidding. I'm not trying to put you on the
like
spot.
maybe like
But
30.
I do feel that when people talk about
Yeah.
Facebook.
But like everyone's on everything. So I know who are Gen Z are on Facebook as well. So, but most of them are not. But it just depends. But yeah, it's any other questions, guys? Anything you have in mind, just blur it out. Let me know. Ask me.
Alex, I'll jump in while people are thinking. Like, what about I can't recall those in your previous slides, but like scheduling, like when's the best time to post, how many you should be posting per platforms, like what's your recommendation?
Right. So when it comes to that, like it really, oh, I don't want to keep saying it depends, but it really does depend on your time, your resource. Most it's good to post at least 3 to 5 posts a week. You don't want to be spamming the content or any of them really, and you also don't want to post inconsistently. If you're gonna post Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday every week, make sure you post Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday every week. You don't want to just be all over the place when it comes to posting. The timing, I would say, it depends, but what I would do is post a lot in the beginning and then see where people engage with you the most when it comes to the timing, because you can see it on their platform. You can see when people are engaged or online. Let's say it's at 5 p.m. on a Saturday. Then make sure you have a post on 5 p.m. on a Saturday. But if people are not going to be online on a Sunday at 7 a.m., don't post on Sunday 7 a.m. So posting a lot in the beginning so that you can get the data, and then the data will tell you when and where you should be posting.
Excellent. Thank you. Anyone else have questions?
Alex, is it, excuse me, is it good practice to post the same content across different platforms? Like I've seen people post like TikTok clips as Instagram reels,
Right.
know?
Yeah, so when it comes to that, I won't say it's bad practice. I won't also say it's a good practice, but having content out there for two different audiences, I guess it's neutral. I know I've seen people basically download a TikTok video and then repost it on Instagram, and that's fine. But when it comes to algorithm, TikTok will see that there's a TikTok logo on that video, and they're gonna like downgrade that video. So when you do that, make sure it's a raw video from, your your phone, and you upload it instead of downloading it from TikTok and then downloading it into Reels. I mean, posting on Reels. So, so to answer the question specifically, it's okay to have it. It's okay to do that, because that means more people will see your content, that specific content. So, if some people are not on TikTok for whatever reason, political, whatever, and then they're on Instagram. If they're not on TikTok, but you post it on Instagram, they may be able to see on Instagram. So it's okay to have it. It's I guess I would say it's good to have it.
I have a question.
Sure.
This has been really helpful and really great, I think, to think about things that I'm not implementing already. So there's a lot obviously that can be done. I think it becomes kind of overwhelming for me sometimes. Like what would you suggest in terms of like, okay, on a weekly basis, this is good to do, like on a monthly basis, this is good to do, like daily, or like when, like I feel like I'm not keeping up with some of these things. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh, it's
Probably 2 times a week, and see how that feels. If that's okay, post 3 times. Just depending on your time, your resource, you can always start small and then go, and then increase your frequency if it fits you, or if you're okay with that. When it comes to like scheduling, you can always use other platforms to help you generate content a lot easier. So Canva is one of the most popular ones. It's not cheap to have a premium Canva account. It's like 11 bucks. That's like a whole, I don't know, just 11 bucks is not a lot. So using that platform website, you can generate a really quick template when it comes to like events happening, or like a holiday, let's say Christmas. You can create a quick post for yourself from Canva and just change it to your branding. You can get it done, within 10 minutes. So that you're not spending a lot of time to like creating graphics from scratch. So time management, utilizing third-party apps gives you the ability to create more content at a shorter time. CapCut is one of the app that a lot of people use when it comes to TikTok. It's really, you download the app, and then there's a template for a video, and then maybe you just click the pictures you want, and then it'll generate that template, that content for you. Really, a minute max. Creating
what's that one called again?
CapCut. So CAPCUT. And that's just one of the video editing tools out there. It could be any other apps. So there's a ton of editing tools that you can use in order to shorten the time that you create content so that you can produce more. Also, there's on Pinterest, there's a lot of like templates that they sell for like 10, 11 bucks as well. And then they can have like 100 different like social media posts and just brand it. So, there's a lot of ways to make content at a fraction of your time. Does that answer your question, Natasha?
Yeah, that was really great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have time for, first of all, never heard of CapCut, so I actually wrote that down myself. So that thank you for sharing that resource, Alex. I had no idea there's such a free editing. So I always use like my iPhone, actually,
Yeah.
just try to, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to use like whatever resources are available to me, but yeah, that's great. We have time for like one last question if there's anybody else in the room that wants to.
Yeah, when it comes to CapCut, a lot
Mhm.
of the TikTok videos that people like use when it comes to like trends is from CapCut. So that's why people are able to generate content a lot quicker, because TikTok gives you the ability to click on that template and then goes to the CapCut app, and then you just choose your pictures or videos and then click download, and then that's your content. 30 seconds, probably max. So quick.
Sure. And Alex, do you mind moving to your contact slide, just in case like folks
Oh yeah.
after
Sorry.
this call something reminds them, oh, we should contact Alex. Okay. All right,
Yeah,
excellent.
I should join the follow. I'm not an official member yet. Like I spoke to Catherine, I think, the Nafala DC president.
Okay, mm-hmm.
Aileen, yeah.
Yeah. We are a very welcoming crew, so we actually I think Follow DC could definitely benefit from more social media engagement. So we would I think they would appreciate your membership.
Definitely.
Okay. So Alex, thank you so much for all these like drops of knowledge. Like this is really incredible. The PowerPoint presentation and this recording will be provided to all attendees after this call. So just keep a lookout for the PowerPoint copy, and then of course the YouTube video will be uploaded. Just give us some time to just kind of clean it up. Maybe we'll use CapCut actually to make sure it's edited correctly. And then just before we wrap up, well, Alex, do you want to say a few words? And then I have a couple announcements.
Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for inviting me to speak to Nafala, present this webinar, and hopefully you guys are able to get some information about it and use it for your organization. Or if you guys want me to help you out, you can scan my QR code, or you can contact me and we can put together a digital marketing strategy for you and your business.
Well, thank you, Alex, for joining, and thank you all for being a part of the webinar. Before we close out, just want to remind everyone, we do have an upcoming event. It's an all-member virtual social on Sunday, August 27 at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. You would RSVP or register at infall.com/member social. When you go to that site to RSVP, there's some ideas of what's going to happen, but essentially we will have a mocktail cocktail demonstration, and then we will play a game together virtually. So I hope you all can attend, and definitely push it out to any peers who are looking to just engage and just, let's take advantage of our Zoom platform while we have it, right? Anyway, so thank you all for joining. Thank you again, Alex, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Hope to see you at the
Thank you guys.
Bye,
Have a good
everyone.
one.